Thank you very much, Sati. We have the next presentation again by Sati, because these two presentations are continuous, Sati.
This presentation talks about the intra-urban disparities in stunting among children less than 5 years in 3 urbanizing South Asian countries, India, Nepal, and Bangladesh. Why does this study have relevance? When we are using demographic health data, and each of us as public health professionals use such data, what do we see? Urban versus rural aggregate data. And often rural appears worse, and all money and focus moves into the rural areas. What about the urban areas? Can the demographic health data be disaggregated within the urban subset to highlight disparities within the urban areas? And this is what we try to do, and I will share. This is the UNICEF report on stunting levels among children in developing countries. And what the serious research actually showed is that in developing countries, there are 195 million children who suffer from chronic undernutrition, also called stunting, meaning they are too short for one's age. This report also showed that out of these 195 million children, 36% of them are housed in 3 countries, India, Nepal, and Bangladesh. And if you can see here, India has the highest burden of stunted children in developing countries. So many would believe that India is rising economically, the GDP is going well, loads of cities, flyovers, yet there are disparities, yet there is high level of stunting, probably as equivalent to sub-Saharan Africa. These 3 countries, India, Nepal, and Bangladesh, are also urbanizing rapidly, and I'm going to go one by one onto each row. They are 20 to 30% urban. They are growing annually, that is, the urban population is growing annually at a rate of 2 to 5%. It is estimated that by 2026, 40% of the population in these 3 countries would be urban. While urbanization is good, the problem that these 3 countries are facing is that along with urbanization, they have a large proportion of their urban population living in poverty conditions in slums and informal settlements. Worse still, the demographic health data, the way it is projected and presented, does not show the inequities in urban areas. It actually masks them. Because data, if you see, which is presented, it may be presented by gender, by residence, but within urban areas, what is the condition within the economic quartiles, quintiles, it does not present. So, we know that stunting is an indicator of chronic deprivation, and reduction of stunting an indicator of progress of a nation. So we took childhood stunting as an indicator, and we tried to assess disparities in childhood stunting between the economic segments in the urban areas of India, Bangladesh, and Nepal by reanalyzing their urban subsets of their recent DHS that was available at that time. So what did we do? We took the recent DHS data for India, Nepal, and Bangladesh, which you can see on the first row. We filtered out the urban sample, and we had to now disaggregate the sample by quartiles, quintiles, or develop a criteria to do that. So we took their official urban poverty estimates, and we disaggregated the data of urban areas for India and Bangladesh by quartiles, because their national level official poverty estimates was close to 25%. And for Nepal, we disaggregated the urban subset by deciles, because their national level official poverty estimates was close to 10%. Stunting by us represented height for age less than -2 SDs of the WHO growth standards median, and severe stunting was height for HZ score less than -3 SDs of the WHO growth standards median. I have just 4 more slides. My first result slide for India. This is the point that we were trying to make, that in the urban average data shows that 40% of urban children less than 5 years suffer from stunting. And when you disaggregate this whole data and unmask the inequities within the urban areas, this is what you find. That stunting among children in the poorest urban quartile is actually 2.6 times higher as compared to the richest. And look at severe stunting. Severe stunting is in fact 4 times higher in the poorest urban quartile as compared to the richest. There is one more thing that this data tells us. Please look at these 2 bars. That the quartile next to the poorest quartile is equally bad. Correct? We go to Bangladesh. Bangladesh, slightly worse. In the richest urban quartile, you saw that around 15% of the children suffered from stunting, and this was 3 times higher in the poorest urban quartile. So the point we are trying to make is that stunting in children in the poorest urban quartile in Bangladesh is 3 times higher as compared to the richest. It's high time that that data be disaggregated. Another thing, can anyone probably point out and say, look at the difference between severe stunting in the poorest and the topmost? 7 times. 7 times higher. And similar to India, stunting levels in the quartile next to the poorest quartile is equally bad. Nepal. Nepal gave us a little slightly confusing picture, and it has a reason to it. Because we had disaggregated the data decile-wise, so denominators we got very few. Overall, the urban subset data was only the sample of 639, which also shows that we need to increase our urban sampling when we are doing large-scale surveys, so that if disaggregated, we should be getting some information. But this slide has some important story to tell. And the story is that in the richest decile, while we have just about 20% of the children who suffer from stunting, in the lowest 3 deciles, stunting levels are as high. My final slide, 1 message and 2 implications. The message this study gives is that childhood stunting levels are alarming, both in the poorest urban quartile and in the quartile or the decile next to it. And what is the implication? My first implication, probably I'll take the second one first, is there's a question on the urban poverty cutoff. The urban poverty cutoff, based on this study, if you can see, because the quartile or the decile next to the poorest is equally bad, we feel that the urban poverty cutoff actually underestimates the extent of deprivation in the urban population in these countries. So when we're taking the urban poverty cutoff and actually providing services just to those who are below the cutoff, we are leaving out a chunk of the population which is next to that cutoff. And they're equally bad. And the last point is that there's a need for sufficient urban sampling in large-scale data and presenting intra-urban data for highlighting the high level of stunting in the urban poor in these countries. We've circulated some fact sheets based on this study for India. Hopefully, probably soon, we can share some information on Bangladesh and Nepal. Thank you very much.